friends, welcome to the next video. As you can see, we are in the garage today, so it's a video especial, not the normal type of video that you would typically see here on our channel, but I needed to do some work on our side-by-side, and when I went to go try to find a similar video that I can watch and learn from, I couldn't find one. You see, I'm a visual learner, and I like to see how other people do things so that I can easily get through the task. And I tried to read through the instructions, and they're not too bad, but I'm a visual learner. So I looked and I looked and I looked, and I couldn't find a video on how to install a Warner plow mount on a Yamaha side-by-side. This is a 2020 Yamaha Viking EPS, and I couldn't find a video. So I thought, hey, if I have to do this work today, I might as well turn on the camera and hopefully help somebody else that's in the same situation. You see, up here in the Northeast, we are preparing for the snowy winter months ahead, and I went to go put my plow on the side-by-side, and it wouldn't line up. And after careful inspection, I found out that the existing bracket was not only bent, but it was broken. So I had to order a brand new bracket, and I'm going to be installing it today, and I thought I'd take you along for the ride. Let's go. You have to see the old mount that I've taken off our side-by-side before we put on the new mount. And for two reasons. I want to show you how messed up this thing is, but also to allow you to compare this old mount to the new mount, because it's night and day. Trust me, it is. So here is the mount right here. It's typically bolted behind your bumper on the winch plate right here. And it has these channels, one on both sides, that make it extremely easy to install your snowplow every year. You just slide the plow, which has these two prongs behind the plow that slide up into these channels right here, and then you lock it in place with a pin right here. But when it's all janked up and messed up and bent like this, it doesn't work the way it should. So this is the better of the two sides. You can see that it's fairly flat, but you can see it starts to flare up here in the center. This over here is flared out at the bottom, and this channel is not exactly where it should be, which makes that fork not line up properly to put the pin in. Then you go over to this side. Take a look at that. Halfway decent. Let's slide over. Look how bent that side is. That is just messed up. Which, because it's bent, it took this channel down and out, so the prong or the fork from the side-by-side wouldn't even go into this. It was just messed up. Moreover, take a look at this. Look at that bolt hole right there. I sheared the steel right in two. That is crazy. And if you look at the plate right here, I broke the plate too. I really hit something hard last year with the plow and just messed this plate up. But we have it off, and we're about to install the new one. Let me show you the design of the new one, which, by the way, here is the paper that came with it. It is the Worn Plow Mount Kit, part number 92156. It's for Yamaha Viking side-by-sides 2013 or newer. So if you are looking to buy a new plow mount for your Yamaha Viking side-by-side and you have a 2013 or newer, this is the one that I would recommend. And here's why. Let me set this paper down. Again, remember the old one. This is the old one. Look what's missing here. A lot of steel missing in here, which in my opinion is a bad design because it doesn't give structural integrity to the center of the actual plow mount, and allows this side to bend or this side to bend or both sides in my case, and it's just a bad design. So here is the new mount. Look at that. Look at all that steel in the center. This is awesome. Old mount, new mount. This is what this mount should have been all along. I don't know if this is the same part number or an older of the same part number, and they just changed it up because they figured out that more metal is better. But this was put on from the dealership when we bought the side-by-side new. and obviously it didn't last. So now we're going to be installing the brand new plow mount on today. Let's do it. All right, step one starts right here. This is something that doesn't even come included with the kit, but it is required to mount the front plow mount. This is your winch plate. You need to make sure that this is installed and secured. And you're also going to need to install your winch plate. This is called the roller fair lead, and this is what your winch cable goes in and out of. There's rollers on the sides and rollers on the top and bottom. So we're going to be installing that onto the front of the winch plate. Step one is done. Now we're on to step two, which is right here in the instructions, where we are going to take the plow mount and put it on top of the winch plate on the front of our side-by-side. Now, you're probably thinking you have to take the entire bumper off because the size of the plow mount is bigger than the bumper, so how do I get it through there? Well, it's real simple. You actually slide it through the side, either the driver's side or the passenger side of the bumper. You just slide it right in. Now, the tricky part here is you're going to slide this in and rest it on top of the winch plate. You also have to have a winch for this all to work, right? So if I were to put this in there first without the winch, I wouldn't be able to get the winch in there. The sides of the channels here get in the way and block me from being able to slide my winch in after I have this on top of the winch plate. So what I have to do is I have to take my winch, which here's mine. I have a KFI 3500 winch. I have to rest it on top of the plow mount. Now, I'm not going to screw anything into place. I'm just going to rest it on top of there. And then I'm going to slide it from the side. And I found when I was taking the old plow mount out that coming through the passenger side was easier for me. Your mileage may vary depending on your winch itself. But for me, coming through the passenger side is easier. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to take this and I'm going to slide it in through the passenger side and rest it on top of the winch plate. So here we go. And that's all it takes. All right, now we're on to step number 3 right here. As you can see, we're going to take the included hardware and you're going to take the nuts and bolts out of this bag and you're going to use them to secure the plow mount onto the winch plate, which is subsequently connected and secured to the entire body of the side-by-side. Now, one of the things that I'm doing that's not asked for in the instructions is I'm going to add just a little bit of blue Loctite into each one of the bolts. And that's going to keep the fasteners more secure than if I didn't do that, because these are not lock nuts and these are not Teflon coated or anything like that. So vibration over time could make those nuts back off of the bolts and fall off. So I'm hoping by adding just a little bit of blue Loctite on here that it'll give me an added advantage. All right, the last step is to take these 4 bolts and secure the winch back onto the winch plate. Don't forget to connect your winch power and route your winch cable through the roller fair lead. Finally, we get to reinstall the plow back onto the brand new shiny plow mount that we worked so hard to install on our side-by-side. There it is, peeking out right there. These are the 2 arms that I was talking about earlier that slide up into those channels. There is the driver's side channel right there. There is the passenger side channel right there. And on the old plow mount that was bent, I couldn't get either one of these to line up properly into the channels. So this is going to slide up easily now into the brand new plow mount, and it'll be secured in place on both sides using these pins right here. There are 2 of them that come with the kit. One of the pins goes into that hole right there and locks in place. The other pin goes onto the driver's side, goes into that hole right there and is locked in place. And then finally, we take the winch cable, pull it out, route it through that pulley system right there, back up to the heavy-duty worn strap that comes with the plow mount kit, and we are back in business. So there you have it, an easy install that you can do yourself and save yourself some money versus having a dealership install it for you. If you found this video useful and helpful, don't forget to click that thumbs up, turn on your bell notification so you know when we make new videos here on the channel, smash that subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.